I ask you to set aside all preconceived notions about identity, personality, and the nature of the self. For tonight we shall explore a truth so fundamental, yet so often overlooked, that it has the power to completely reshape your world and your understanding of who you truly are. Consider for a moment your current state. Perhaps you find yourself questioning your purpose, feeling lost in the maze of life, wondering about the true nature of your being. Or maybe you're confident in your identity, yet sensing that there's something more, something deeper waiting to be uncovered. Wherever you are in your journey, I say unto you, you are exactly where you need to be. For in this state, in this moment of questioning, lies the greatest opportunity for self-discovery and ultimate realization. But what does it mean to find out who you are? It is not a matter of accumulating more knowledge about yourself or analyzing your past experiences. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in perception that can catapult you from a place of confusion and limitation to a place of clarity and infinite possibility. Finding out who you are is about reconnecting with the God within you, the source of all being, and the true essence of your identity. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every role you play, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. It is a mirror, faithfully reflecting back to you the sum total of your beliefs, assumptions, and most importantly, your self-concept. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that your identity is not fixed or predetermined, but a fluid, ever-changing expression of your consciousness. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of self-discovery. No longer are you seeking to uncover a static, unchanging self. You are recognizing that your true self is a dynamic, creative force, the very power of awareness itself. And it is from this recognition that you can begin to consciously shape your identity and your reality. But how, you may ask, does one embark on this journey of self-discovery? The answer lies in the power of your wonderful human imagination. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker. It is the very workshop in which your identity is forged. When you use your imagination to explore different aspects of yourself, when you assume new states of being, you are not engaging in idle daydreaming. You are engaging in the most powerful act of self-creation known to man. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true, and once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality. So when you imagine yourself embodying certain qualities or being a certain type of person, you are not being delusional or engaging in wishful thinking. You are actively creating your identity from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to express itself through you in new and expanded ways. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of finding out who you are. It is about recognizing that your identity is not something to be discovered, but something to be created. It is about understanding that your true self is not a fixed entity, but a field of infinite possibilities waiting to be explored and expressed. Consider the biblical phrase, I am that I am. This is not a statement of static being, but a declaration of the infinite potential of your consciousness. It is saying, I am whatever I choose to be. And in this recognition lies your true power, the power to consciously shape your identity, and by extension, your reality. But let me be clear, this journey of self-discovery is not about becoming someone you're not. It is about expanding your understanding of who you can be. It is about shedding the limitations and beliefs that have kept you confined to a narrow definition of self. When you truly engage in this process, you'll find that your identity naturally expands and evolves. You begin to express more of your innate potential, more of the divine essence that you truly are. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a man who has always seen himself as shy and introverted. He might avoid social situations, always feeling uncomfortable and out of place. But in doing so, he is affirming his current self-concept. He is living from the assumption that he is inherently shy, and so the universe faithfully reflects this assumption back to him in the form of continued social discomfort and isolation. Now imagine this same man shifting his approach. Instead of accepting shyness as an unchangeable part of his identity, he begins to imagine himself as confident and socially at ease. He feels the naturalness of expressing himself freely, of connecting easily with others. He lives each day from this feeling, carrying himself with the assurance of someone who is comfortable in any social situation. In this state, he no longer avoids social interactions. He may still feel moments of discomfort, but he approaches them from a new perspective, one of curiosity and openness, rather than fear and avoidance. And in doing so, he begins to have new experiences that confirm his new self-concept. He allows a more expansive version of himself to emerge, drawn forth by the power of his imagination and the clarity of his new self-image. This principle applies to every aspect of your identity. Whether you want to cultivate more confidence, creativity, compassion, or any other quality, the key is to first imagine and feel the reality of being that way. For what you are seeking is also seeking you, but it can only find expression through you when you align yourself with its frequency. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, isn't this just pretending to be someone I'm not? Isn't this denial of who I really am? And to this I say emphatically no. This is not about denying your current expression of self. It is about understanding the true nature of identity and the creative power of your consciousness. Your current self-concept is nothing more than the fruit of your past assumptions and beliefs about yourself. It has no power to determine your future identity unless you give it that power by continuing to focus on it and feel its reality. When you shift your focus, when you assume a new concept of self, you are not denying reality. You are exercising your divine right to choose which aspects of your infinite potential you wish to express. Remember, your outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness that gives life to your experiences and your identity. When you cling to a fixed idea of who you are putting your power in the hands of shadows, reflections of past states of consciousness. But when you open yourself to new possibilities of being, when you assume new states of consciousness, you cause your outer world and your expressed identity to rearrange themselves to match your new inner reality. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to finding out who you are. It is about aligning yourself with the law of assumption, recognizing that your true self is infinitely vast and capable of expressing in countless ways. It is about allowing new aspects of yourself to flow into your experience through the power of your imagination and feeling. But let me warn you, this journey of self-discovery is not always an easy path. The old habits of self-defection, the familiar patterns of thought and behavior are deeply ingrained in our consciousness. As you embark on this new way of being, you may find resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in. Old self-concepts may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts and feelings. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to your new assumed state of being. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to be, but by persistently embodying the state of what you do want to be. This persistence, this unwavering faith in your ability to reshape your identity is what allows you to truly find out who you are in the deepest sense. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your old self-concepts or force yourself to be different. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of the self you wish to express, to align yourself with the feeling of being that version of you. This tuning is done through your imagination and your ability to generate feeling states. Your imagination is the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of self-presentation. As you use your imagination to assume the feeling of being a certain way, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing those aspects of your potential to flow into your lived experience. But remember, my friends, this is not a one-time event. Finding out who you are is an ongoing process, a continuous journey of self-discovery and self-creation. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay in shape by exercising once, you cannot expect to fully express your potential by imagining it once. This is about persistently assuming new states of being, about living from expanded states of consciousness day in and day out until they become your new normal. So as you do this, you will find that your sense of self becomes more fluid, more expansive. The very concept of a fixed identity begins to fade from your consciousness. For how can you be limited to one way of being when you've experienced the thrill of expressing in many different ways? How can you cling to a narrow self-concept when you've tasted the freedom of your infinite potential? This shift in perception is the key to truly finding out who you are, to experiencing the full range of your divine nature. It opens you up to the vast possibilities of your being, allowing you to express yourself in ways you might never have imagined possible. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I imagine being a way I've never been? How can I generate a feeling for a state of being I've never experienced? And to this I say, your imagination is more powerful than any physical experience. Consider for a moment, have you ever read a book that moved you deeply? Or watched a film that inspired you to see yourself differently? In those moments, were you responding to anything in your physical reality? No, you were responding to the images and scenarios created in your imagination. Your feelings, your sense of expanded possibility were real, even though the events were imaginary. This is the power you must harness to find out who you are. You must use your imagination to create scenarios that evoke the feelings associated with being the person you want to be. If you want to be more confident, imagine yourself speaking eloquently in front of a large audience. If you want to be more compassionate, imagine yourself responding with kindness and understanding in a challenging situation. Feel these states as vividly and as consistently as you can. The key is to make these imaginal acts as real to you as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the surge of confidence as you stand before the audience. Hear the sound of your steady, assured voice. See the attentive faces of your listeners. Or feel the warmth of compassion flowing through you. Hear the gentle tone of your voice as you offer words of comfort. See the gratitude in the eyes of the person you're helping. Make it real in your mind and the feelings will naturally follow. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to imagine specific scenarios or outcomes. The goal is to capture the essence of the feeling state associated with being a certain way. For it is this feeling state that is the true attractor of new experiences, and the catalyst for genuine transformation. Let me illustrate this with an example. Suppose you want to cultivate more creativity in your life. You might be tempted to imagine yourself painting a specific masterpiece or writing a particular novel. While this can be a useful starting point, it is limiting. Instead, capture the feeling essence of being a creative person. What does it feel like to be bursting with ideas? How does it feel to express yourself freely and authentically? What is the feeling of being in a state of flow, where creativity pours through you effortlessly? By focusing on the feeling essence, rather than specific outcomes, you allow your creativity to express itself in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of finding out who you are. It's not about forcing yourself to be a certain way. It's about tapping into the infinite potential of your being and allowing new aspects of yourself to emerge naturally. It's about expanding your sense of what's possible for you. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start having ideas you've never had before, or you find yourself responding to situations in new, more empowering ways, or you discover talents and abilities you never knew you had. These are all signs that your inner shift is creating ripples in your outer reality, that you are truly beginning to find out who you are in a deeper sense. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your assumption of new states of being is taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your assumed states of expanded being. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally expressing qualities you once thought were beyond you. You may notice that your relationships and your experiences begin to reflect your expanded sense of self. And as you continue to explore and express new aspects of your being, you'll discover that the process of finding out who you are is an endless adventure, full of joy and wonder. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of consciousness from which new expressions of self naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you're truly engaged in the process of finding out who you are, when you're fully embodying the state of being that you desire, you no longer need external validation or specific outcomes to feel fulfilled. You're already whole, already complete in your ever-expanding experience of self. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner fulfillment that you're most likely to express the fullness of who you are in the outer world. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about taking action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to truly find out who we are? And to this I say yes, action is part of the process, but it's inspired action, not forced doing. When you're living from expanded states of being, ideas and opportunities for self-expressions will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions, to explore new areas of life. These actions won't feel like effort or struggle. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is the difference between forcing yourself to be something and allowing yourself to express more fully. When you're trying to make yourself be a certain way, actions feel forced, stressful, born out of fear and self-doubt. When you're living from an expanded state of being, actions flow naturally from your assumed state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring more of your potential into expression. Consider the example of a seed. A seed doesn't strain to become a tree. It doesn't force itself to grow. It simply unfolds naturally, expressing its innate potential in response to the right conditions. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you align yourself with expanded states of being, you allow your own unfolding to occur naturally and effortlessly. You create the conditions for more of your innate potential to express itself. But let me be clear. This process of self-discovery is not passive. It requires an active use of your imagination, a deliberate assumption of new states of being. It requires faith, not blind faith in an external power, but faith in the infinite potential of your own consciousness. This faith is not about believing that you'll someday become someone different. It's about believing that you are already, in this moment, far more than you've allowed yourself to express. It's about having faith in the vastness of your being and your ability to bring more of that vastness into your lived experience. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in assuming new states of being, you'll begin to see evidence of your expanded self manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small, a moment of unexpected courage, a flash of insight you've never had before, a new way of relating to others that feels more authentic and fulfilling. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner world is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of who you truly are. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that if they fully embrace this process of self-discovery and self-creation, they'll somehow lose themselves or become inauthentic. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you engage in this process of finding out who you are, when you open yourself to the vastness of your being, you become more authentically yourself than ever before. But it's a different kind of authenticity. It's not about being true to a fixed, limited idea of who you are. It's about being true to the ever-expanding, ever-evolving expression of your infinite potential. In this state, you're not trying to be someone you're not. You're allowing yourself to be more of who you truly are. You're peeling away the layers of conditioning and limited self-concepts to reveal the divine essence at your core. This is the true gift of finding out who you are. It's not just about uncovering hidden aspects of yourself, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the infinite creative potential of your consciousness. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself more fully through you. In this state of alignment, of continually finding out who you are, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of your divine nature. Ideas for self-expressions flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities to explore new facets of your being present themselves naturally. You find yourself expressing in ways that surprise and delight you. This is the magic of living from the state of ever-expanding self-discovery. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your infinite nature. You are the magic. You are the miracle. You are the infinite being you've been seeking to discover. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, you have to find out who you are, is not just about self-discovery in the conventional sense. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine, creative being. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental laws of the universe and allowing your grandest expressions of self to flow into your experience. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a playground for self-expressions, filled with infinite possibilities for being. You no longer see yourself as a small, limited being struggling to find your place. Instead, you recognize yourself as the source of all being, the author of your own identity. In this state, there's no need to fear losing yourself or becoming someone you're not, for you understand that who you are is not fixed or limited, but an ever-expanding expression of infinite consciousness. Your job is simply to assume new states of being, to live from expanded states of consciousness, and to allow the universe to support your ongoing journey of self-discovery. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this process of finding out who you are with joy and anticipation. Don't see it as a struggle to uncover a hidden, static self, but as an exciting adventure in self-creation and self-expression. Use your mighty imagination to assume new states of being. Feel the naturalness of expressing more of your divine nature. Live from these expanded states, persist in this assumption, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your inner vision of who you are. Remember, you are not a helpless being pushed around by external circumstances or limited by past experiences. You are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness is the one and only reality. All things are possible to him who believes, for belief shapes reality. In your journey of finding out who you are, this belief becomes your guiding light, leading you unerringly to ever greater expressions of your divine nature. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply it in your life. Test it. Prove it to yourself. For in doing so, you'll discover the truth of who you really are. You'll tap into the limitless potential that has always been within you. And you'll experience the joy, the freedom, the fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with your true nature as an infinite divine being. The world is waiting for you, my friends, not as a place where you need to find yourself, but as a canvas where you can express the ever-expanding self that you are. It's waiting for you to recognize your true power, to step into your divine nature, to become more fully the unique expression of consciousness that only you can be. So start now. Feel the reality of being more than you've ever allowed yourself to be. Let this feeling permeate every aspect of your being. For in truth, you are already that expanded self, already that divine being. All you need to do is open your heart, embrace this truth, and allow it to express itself more fully in your experience. I want to share with you a profound truth about the nature of hatred and your relationship to it. What others feel toward you, their hatred, their judgment, their criticism, is nothing but their state of consciousness made visible. It has nothing to do with who you truly are. Let me tell you a great secret. When others hate you, they are not actually hating you. They are hating a concept they have created in their own consciousness. They are hating an imagination they have constructed. They are hating their own projection. In the Bible, it states the world cannot hate you, but it hates me because they testify that its works are evil. This is not speaking of a physical person being hated. It is speaking of the state of consciousness that rises above the world's limitations and judgments. Consider this profound truth. When you understand that others' hatred is merely their state of consciousness externalized, you are freed from the need to change their minds or win their approval. You are liberated to occupy the state of consciousness you choose. You see, when someone expresses hatred toward you, what is really happening? They are showing you their state of consciousness. They are revealing their limitations, their fears, their own inner conflicts. Their hatred has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their state. Let me share with you what I call the law of projected consciousness. Whatever others project onto you, whether love or hate, acceptance or rejection, is merely their state of consciousness made visible. You are not the target of their hatred. You are the screen upon which they project their state. Consider this deeply when you understand this truth. Others' hatred loses its power over you. Their judgment becomes meaningless. Their criticism becomes irrelevant. For you understand that they are not seeing you, they are seeing their own state reflected back to them. Let me tell you about something I call the state of divine indifference. This is not coldness or lack of caring. This is the state where you are so secure in your own consciousness that others' opinions, whether love or hate, have no power to move you from your chosen state. This is what the scripture means when it says, let them alone, they be blessed. You don't fight against their hatred. You don't try to change their minds. You simply remain in your chosen state, allowing them to occupy whatever state they choose. Now, here is the wonderful news. Their hatred can actually serve as a confirmation that you are occupying a state beyond their current understanding. Their rejection can be a sign that you have transcended the limitations they still accept as real. Let me share with you what I call the law of transcendent consciousness. When you occupy a state that transcends others' limitations, their hatred is often automatic. They hate what they don't understand. They reject what they cannot comprehend within their current state. But remember, their hatred is their limitation, not yours. Their rejection is their boundary, not yours. Their judgment is their prison, not yours. Consider what the scripture means when it says, blessed are ye, when men shall hate you. This is not celebrating hatred. This is acknowledging that when you occupy a state beyond others' understanding, their hatred is often inevitable and ultimately irrelevant. Let me share with you another powerful truth. When you are secure in your own state of consciousness, others' hatred becomes a tool for your growth, rather than a weapon for your destruction. Their rejection becomes confirmation of your transcendence, rather than evidence of your unworthiness. Think about this deeply. Every great advancement in human consciousness has been met with hatred. Every expansion of human potential has been resisted. Every breakthrough has been rejected until it became the new normal. Let me share with you another profound dimension of this truth. Consider what happens in your consciousness when you encounter others' hatred. Most people make what I call the fundamental error. They try to escape the hatred, prove themselves worthy, or fight against the rejection. But I tell you this, all of these responses come from accepting their hatred as having power over you. Instead, let me share with you what I call the law of conscious elevation. When others hate you, use their hatred as a stepping stone to elevate your consciousness even higher. In the Bible, it states, love your enemies, bless them that curse you. This is not mere moral advice. This is a profound psychological law. When you can remain in a state of love while others hate, when you can maintain your chosen state while others reject you, you are demonstrating mastery over consciousness. Consider this deeply. When others hate you, they are actually giving you an opportunity to prove the power of your consciousness. They are providing you with a chance to demonstrate that external conditions have no power over your internal state. Let me share with you what I call the law of opposite assumption. When faced with hatred, instead of contracting in fear or expanding in anger, assume the exact opposite state. If they project hatred, assume love. If they project rejection, assume acceptance. If they project limitation, assume abundance. You see, most people make the mistake of meeting hatred with hatred, rejection with rejection, judgment with judgment. But I tell you this, when you do that, you are accepting and energizing the very state you wish to transcend. Consider what the scripture means when it says, judge not, that ye be not judged. This is not about morality. This is about the law of consciousness. Whatever state you occupy, whether judgment or acceptance, hatred or love, becomes your experience. Let me share with you what I call the state of divine detachment. This is the state where others' hatred has no power to disturb your peace, where their rejection has no ability to shake your certainty, where their judgment has no capacity to alter your chosen state. This is what the Bible means when it says, be in the world but not of it. You acknowledge the existence of others' hatred while refusing to enter into its state. You recognize their rejection while remaining in your chosen state of acceptance. Think about this profound truth. When others hate you, they are actually telling you more about their limitations than about your worth. Their hatred is a declaration of their boundaries, not your value. Their rejection is a statement of their fears, not your potential. Let me share with you what I call the law of consciousness reflection. Whatever others project onto you is merely a reflection of their own consciousness. Their hatred reflects their limitations. Their rejection reflects their fears. Their judgment reflects their insecurities. But here's the wonderful news: you are not their reflection. You are not their projection. You are not their imagination. You are the pure awareness that can choose which state to occupy, regardless of their projections. Consider this deeply. When others hate you, they are actually giving you a gift. The gift of clarity about which state you choose to occupy. Will you enter their state of hatred? Or will you maintain your state of love? Will you accept their rejection? Or will you remain in acceptance? Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious choice. In every moment of hatred, in every instance of rejection, in every experience of judgment, you have a choice. You can either enter their state or maintain your own. This is what the scripture means when it says, "Choose you this day whom ye shall serve." Will you serve the state of hatred they project, or will you serve the state of love you choose to occupy? Think about this. Every time others hate you, they are actually presenting you with an opportunity to demonstrate the power of your consciousness. Every rejection is a chance to prove that external conditions cannot dictate your internal state. Let me share with you what I call the state of divine immunity. This is the state where others' hatred has no more power to affect your consciousness than a shadow has power to affect the sun. Their rejection has no more ability to shake your state than a wave has power to shake the ocean. This is what the Bible means when it says, "Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world." The state you choose to occupy is greater than any state others project onto you. Consider this profound truth when you truly understand that others' hatred is merely their state made visible. You are freed from the need to defend, explain, or justify. You are liberated to simply be, to occupy your chosen state, regardless of their projections. Let me share with you another profound dimension of this truth. In the Bible it states, "If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you." This is not about a personal hatred. It's about the world's natural resistance to any consciousness that transcends its limitations. Consider what I call the law of elevated consciousness. When you elevate your consciousness beyond the common state, when you refuse to accept the limitations others embrace, when you choose to live from a higher state, hatred from those still by limitations is natural. You see, their hatred is actually a confirmation that you're no longer operating at their level of consciousness. Their rejection is evidence that you've transcended the state they're currently occupying. Their criticism proves you've moved beyond their limitations. Let me share with you what I call the principle of divine distinction. When others hate you, they are actually helping you distinguish yourself from the mass consciousness. They are helping you confirm your occupation of a higher state. I think about this deeply. Every prophet, every visionary, every individual who has dared to live from a higher state of ahadis has passed, not because they were wrong, but because they were operating from a state beyond the world's current understanding. This is what the scripture means when it says, "Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hates you." Don't be surprised by hatred. Don't be shocked by rejection. Don't be dismayed by criticism. These are merely signs that you're no longer conforming to the limitations of mass consciousness. Let me share with you another powerful principle I call the law of persistent elevation. When faced with hatred, don't descend to the state of those who hate you. Don't drop down to their level of consciousness. Instead, use their hatred as momentum to rise even higher. You see, most people make this crucial mistake. When faced with hatred, they try to defend themselves. They try to prove themselves. They try to justify their position. But I tell you this, no defense is necessary when you understand the law of consciousness. Consider this profound truth. Those who hate you are not actually seeing you. They are seeing their own limitations reflected back to them. They are seeing their own fears magnified. They are seeing their own boundaries challenged. Let me share with you what I call a state of divine detachment. This is the state where you are so secure in your consciousness that others' hatred becomes merely interesting rather than impactful. Their rejection becomes informative rather than influential. This is what the scripture means when it says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." This is not about pardoning enemies. This is about understanding that those who hate you are operating from a state of limited consciousness. They literally know not what they do. Let me share with you another powerful technique I call the consciousness of transcendence. When others express hatred toward you, instead of reacting, pause and ask yourself what state of consciousness is being revealed here. What limitations are being exposed? You see, their hatred is actually a gift. It's showing you exactly what states of consciousness you've transcended. It's revealing precisely what limitations you've moved beyond. It's confirming exactly how far you've elevated your own consciousness. Consider what happens when you shine a light into darkness. The darkness doesn't attack the light. It simply cannot comprehend it. This is exactly what happens when you operate from a higher state of consciousness. Those in lower states cannot comprehend your state, so they resist it. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious resistance. The more you elevate your consciousness, the more resistance you will face from those who haven't elevated theirs. The higher you rise, the more those still bound by limitations will resist your rise. But here's the wonderful truth. Their resistance is actually helping you. Their hatred is actually serving you. Their rejection is actually confirming you. For every expression of hatred is merely showing you that you're no longer bound by the limitations they still accept as real. Think about this: when someone hates you for living your truth, for expressing your authentic state, for occupying a higher consciousness, they are actually helping you strengthen your conviction in your chosen state. Let me share with you another profound aspect of this truth. Consider what I call the law of conscious polarization. When you occupy a state that transcends common limitations, you naturally create polarization. Some will be drawn to your light, while others will resist it with hatred. In the Bible it states, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." This is not about physical conflict. It's about the natural division that occurs when you dare to occupy a higher state of consciousness. You see, when you refuse to conform to limitations, when you choose to live from an elevated state, you automatically create what I call the contrast of consciousness. Your very presence becomes a mirror, reflecting back to others their own limitations, their own fears, their own boundaries. Let me share with you what I call the principle of conscious magnetism. The more firmly you occupy your chosen state, the more you will attract both intense love and intense hatred. Those ready to elevate their consciousness will be drawn to you, while those committed to their limitations will resist you. Consider this deeply: their hatred is actually a form of tribute. It's an unconscious acknowledgement that you've transcended the limitations they still accept as real. Their rejection is actually a confirmation that you're no longer bound by the constraints they still embrace. This is what the scripture means when it says, "Ye are the light of the world." When you shine your light, when you live from your elevated state of consciousness, you automatically create contrast. Light doesn't fight darkness, it simply reveals what darkness has been hiding. Let me share with you another powerful principle I call the law of conscious authenticity. The more authentic you are to your chosen state, the more polarization you will create. Some will recognize and resonate with your truth, while others will react with hatred to what they cannot understand. You see, most people make this fundamental error. They try to dim their light to avoid others' hatred. They try to shrink their consciousness to escape others' rejection. They try to conform their state to avoid others' criticism. But I tell you this: dimming your light doesn't serve anyone. Shrinking your consciousness doesn't help anyone. Conforming your state doesn't benefit anyone. The world needs your light in its full intensity, even if that light triggers others' hatred. Let me share with you what I call the state of divine authenticity. This is the state where you are so secure in your chosen consciousness that others' hatred becomes irrelevant to your expression. Their rejection becomes meaningless to your expansion. Their criticism becomes powerless against your truth. This is what the Bible means when it says, "Let your light so shine before men." This is not about seeking attention or provoking reaction. It's about being authentically true to your elevated state of consciousness, regardless of how others respond. Consider this profound truth. When you allow others' hatred to dim your light, you're not just denying yourself, you're denying those who need your light to find their way. When you let others' rejection shrink your consciousness, you're not just limiting yourself, You're limiting those who could be inspired by your example. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious responsibility. Once you understand that others' hatred is their limitation, not yours, you have a responsibility to maintain your elevated state. Their hatred doesn't give you permission to descend to their level of consciousness. Think about this. Every time you maintain your elevated state in the face of hatred, you're demonstrating what's possible. Every time you stay true to your consciousness despite rejection, you're showing others that they too can transcend limitations. Let me share with you what I call the principle of conscious elevation. When others hate you, they're actually providing you with an opportunity to demonstrate the power of elevated consciousness. Their hatred becomes your chance to show that external conditions need not affect internal state. This is what the scripture means when it says, love your enemies, do good to them that hate you. This is not about being nice to those who hate you. It's about maintaining your elevated state of consciousness, regardless of how others react to it. Consider what happens when you remain in love while others hate, when you stay in peace while others attack, when you maintain joy while others reject. You're not just preserving your state, you're demonstrating the power of consciousness over circumstances. Consider what I call the law of conscious expansion. When others hate you, they actually provide you with an opportunity to expand your consciousness even further. Their hatred becomes a catalyst for your growth. In the Bible, it states, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you. This is not celebrating persecution. It's recognizing that opposition can serve as a powerful force for expanding your consciousness. You see, when faced with hatred, most people contract. They shrink. They retreat. But I tell you this, hatred can be the very force that pushes you to expand beyond your current limitations, to occupy even higher states of consciousness. Let me share with you what I call the principle of conscious transformation. Every instance of hatred you encounter is actually an invitation to transform your consciousness. Every rejection is an opportunity to deepen your understanding. Every criticism is a chance to strengthen your state. Consider this deeply. Those who hate you are actually serving as unconscious agents of your expansion. Their hatred provides the resistance against which you can strengthen your conscious power. Their rejection offers the contrast through which you can clarify your chosen state. This is what the scripture means when it says, the stone which the builders rejected has become the head of the corner. Your very rejection by others can become the foundation of your greatest strength. Let me share with you another powerful principle I call the law of conscious immunity. The more you understand that others' hatred is their stake, not yours, the more immune you become to its effects. Their rejection loses its power to disturb your peace. Their criticism fails to shake your certainty. You see, most people make this crucial error. They try to protect themselves from hatred by building walls, by creating defenses, by establishing barriers. But I tell you this, true immunity comes not from protection, but from understanding. Consider what I call the state of divine understanding. This is the state where you so completely understand the nature of consciousness that others' hatred becomes merely interesting rather than threatening. Their rejection becomes instructive rather than destructive. This is what the Bible means when it says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. The truth that sets you free is the understanding that others' hatred is their stake, their limitation, their boundary, not yours. Let me share with you what I call the principle of conscious selection. When others hate you, you have a choice in every moment. You can either enter their state of hatred, or you can maintain your chosen state of love. You can accept their rejection, or you can remain in acceptance. Think about this profound truth. Every time others express hatred toward you, they are actually presenting you with an opportunity to choose your state of consciousness. Their hatred becomes the backdrop against which you can demonstrate your conscious power. Let me share with you what I call the law of conscious reflection. Whatever others project onto you, whether hatred, whether love, rejection, or acceptance, is merely a reflection of their state of consciousness. You are the mirror, not the reflection. This is what the scripture means when it says, judge not, that ye be not judged. When you understand that all judgment is self-judgment, that all hatred is self-hatred, that all rejection is self-rejection, you are freed from the need to react to others' projections. Consider this, when someone hates you, they are actually showing you their relationship with themselves. When they reject you, they are revealing their rejection of aspects of themselves. When they criticize you, they are expressing their own inner critic. Let me share with you what I call the principle of conscious compassion. When you truly understand that others' hatred comes from their limitations, their fears, their boundaries, you can actually feel compassion for them while maintaining your elevated state. This is not weak compassion that compromises your state. This is strong compassion that understands while remaining unmoved. This is clear compassion that recognizes the source of hatred while refusing to enter its state. Think about this. Every time someone hates you for living your truth, for expressing your light, for occupying your chosen state, they are actually showing you where they feel most limited, most afraid, most bound.
When you begin to speak the words, even the impossible will manifest for you. Repeat them not merely as a phrase, but as a powerful affirmation that permeates your entire being. Say it until it becomes part of your reality. Do not underestimate the force behind repetition. With every repetition, you are not just speaking words, you are laying the foundation for a new reality. You are affirming that there is no limit to what you can experience, and in doing so, you are becoming one with the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. In the beginning, you may doubt these words. You may wonder how something that seems impossible could possibly manifest in your life. But that doubt is simply a reflection of the old, limited way of thinking. By repeating this affirmation, you are shifting the pattern of your mind. You are reprogramming your subconscious to align with the vast power of creation that exists within you. As you repeat these words, see them as a declaration of your truth. Know that every time you speak, you are inviting that truth into your life. The impossible is not something that happens in another realm, nor is it something that happens only for a few. It is for you, and it will come to you. The very act of speaking these words connects you to the infinite potential of your inner world, and in that space, all things are possible. Feel the words settle deeply into your consciousness. Even the impossible will manifest for you. You are not just wishing for something, you are calling it into being. The universe responds to your belief, to your certainty. When you say these words, you affirm that you believe in your power to bring what seems impossible into your life. Speak these words with full conviction. As you repeat them, let go of any limiting thoughts that have held you back. The power of the words themselves will dissolve those limitations. They carry with them a force that cannot be denied. The impossible is not an obstacle, but a challenge that you are more than capable of overcoming. It's important to remember that the process of manifestation is not about striving or pushing against what is. It is about alignment. The more you repeat this phrase, the more you align yourself with the energy of possibility. This energy knows no bounds, no limits, and it begins to reshape your reality. As you speak, visualize the impossible becoming your reality. See it as already done, already in your life, already part of your experience. The more you repeat these words, the more you begin to embody the state of mind that allows the impossible to unfold. You are not merely waiting for the impossible to happen, you are living as though it has already occurred. You are walking through your day with the assurance that everything you desire, no matter how impossible it may seem, is already on its way to you. Now let go of the need to control how or when it will manifest. The moment you stop controlling, the moment you allow the universe to work in its own perfect timing, the impossible begins to unfold naturally. Trust that it is happening, even if your outer world has not yet reflected it. Every moment of doubt is an invitation to strengthen your belief, to remind yourself that even the impossible will manifest for you. So repeat these words 100 times or more. Each repetition is a reminder of your infinite power. Each repetition is a declaration that you are open to receiving the unimaginable. Trust the process and know that as you continue, you are moving closer to the realization of the impossible in your life. Speak it, believe it, and live it, for even the impossible will manifest for you. When you affirm that even the impossible will manifest for you, you are tapping into a truth that transcends the physical world. It is not a truth bound by logic or limited by what your senses perceive. Instead, it is a truth rooted in the limitless potential of your imagination. The words you speak are seeds, and with every repetition, you are planting them in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. This soil, rich and boundless, will yield a harvest beyond your wildest dreams, if only you believe in its power. To believe in the impossible is not to entertain fantasy, but to awaken to the higher reality that lies within you. What you call impossible is merely the result of conditioned thinking patterns of doubt and fear that have been woven into the fabric of your mind over years of living in a world that prioritizes what it can see and measure. But the unseen forces within you are far more potent than anything visible. When you repeat these words, you are summoning those forces into action. Close your eyes for a moment and let the words wash over you. Even the impossible will manifest for you. Say them slowly, deliberately. With each repetition, feel the truth of them sinking deeper into your being. Allow your imagination to take over. See the impossible as already real. Feel the emotions you would feel if it were true. Let joy, gratitude, and peace fill your heart. These emotions are the evidence of things unseen. They are the confirmation that the impossible is not only possible but inevitable. Do not be swayed by appearances. The outer world may contradict what you are affirming. It may present challenges or suggest that nothing is changing. But the outer world is merely a reflection of your past beliefs. It has no power over the present moment unless you give it that power. By repeating this affirmation, you are rewriting the script. You are declaring that the impossible has no hold over you and that it must yield to the authority of your inner vision. The key is persistence. Say these words not once, not twice, but 100 times. Say them until they become as natural as your breath. Repetition is the art of creation. Each time you repeat this phrase, you are impressing it upon the infinite mind within you. And that infinite mind is incapable of failing. It will respond to the pattern you create with your words, just as a mirror reflects the image before it. Keep speaking, even when doubt arises, even when fear whispers that it cannot be so. Speak louder than your doubts. Speak with unwavering confidence, knowing that your words carry the power of life itself. You must also align your actions with this truth. Live as though the impossible is already manifesting for you. Walk with the assurance that what you seek is seeking you. Act in faith even when you cannot see the outcome. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. When you act as if the impossible is real, you are demonstrating your belief to the universe, and the universe will respond in kind. Remember, it is not your job to figure out how the impossible will come to pass. That is the work of a higher power, a force that knows no limits and requires no explanation. Your only task is to believe, to hold steadfastly to the vision, and to affirm with conviction that even the impossible will manifest for you. Trust in the process, even when it feels slow or uncertain. The impossible often unfolds in ways you could never predict. It arrives quietly, like the dawn after a long night, bringing with it a beauty that takes your breath away. Let these words become a part of your daily practice. Speak them as you wake in the morning, as you go about your day, and as you drift off to sleep at night. Let them echo in your mind until they become the rhythm of your life. The more you repeat them, the more they will shape your reality. You will begin to notice small shifts, signs that the impossible is taking form. A door that was once closed may suddenly open. A path that seemed blocked may clear without effort. These are the whispers of manifestation, the first fruits of your affirmation. Do not allow doubt to take root in your heart. Doubt is the thief of dreams, the voice that tells you the impossible is beyond your reach. But you are greater than doubt. You are the creator of your experience, the master of your destiny. When doubt arises, counter it with this affirmation. Speak it boldly, as a warrior speaks in the face of battle. Even the impossible manifests for you. There is no power that can stand against a mind that is united in belief. Every great achievement, every miracle, every breakthrough once seemed impossible to someone. But those who dared to believe in the impossible discovered that it was never beyond their grasp. They understood the truth that you are now embracing, that what you focus on with unwavering faith must come to pass. The same power that brought their dreams to life resides in you. It is not reserved for the few or the fortunate. It is universal, eternal, and available to all who claim it. As you continue to repeat these words, notice how your perspective begins to shift. The impossible no longer feels so distant. It becomes something tangible, something real. You start to see opportunities where there were once obstacles. You feel a sense of peace, knowing that the outcome is already assured. This is the power of faith in action. It transforms not only your outer world, but your inner world as well. Be patient with yourself and with the process. Manifestation is not always instantaneous, but it is always certain. Trust that every repetition of these words is bringing you closer to the fulfillment of your desires. Trust that the impossible is being made possible, not in some far-off future, but here and now. For time is an illusion, and the only moment that truly exists is this one. In this moment, you are creating your reality. In this moment, even the impossible is becoming real. Speak these words as though your life depends on them, for in many ways it does. The life you desire, the life you are destined to live, depends on your willingness to believe in the impossible. It depends on your ability to see beyond what is and to call forth what could be. You have that ability. You have that power. And as you speak, you are using it to shape a future that is brighter and more abundant than you can imagine. Continue to affirm this truth. Let it be the mantra that carries you through every challenge, every doubt, every fear. Speak it with love, with joy, with certainty. Speak it until it becomes your reality. Even the impossible will manifest for you. This is not just a promise, it is a fact. And as you embrace it, you will witness miracles unfold before your very eyes. The impossible is not a wall that blocks your path, it is a door waiting to be opened by your faith. Each time you speak these words, even the impossible will manifest for you. You are turning the key that unlocks that door. Your words carry a vibration, a frequency that resonates with the creative power of the universe. This power does not discriminate between what you call possible or impossible. It only responds to the energy of your belief, to the persistence of your affirmation, and to the depth of your conviction. As you continue to repeat this truth, allow yourself to feel its weight and its lightness. These words are both a promise and an invitation. A promise that the infinite within you will rise to meet the challenges you face, and an invitation to step into the fullness of who you are. Speak them not as someone who is wishing for a better reality, but as someone who knows that reality is already theirs. Speak them with the authority of a creator who commands the elements of life to align in their favor. Your imagination is your greatest tool in this journey. It is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the possible and the impossible. When you affirm that even the impossible will manifest for you, engage your imagination fully. Close your eyes and picture the life you desire. Feel it, hear it, touch it in your mind. Let every detail become vivid and alive. This act of imagining is not idle daydreaming, it is the blueprint for the reality you are creating. It is the process by which the unseen becomes seen. Do not be concerned with how your vision will come to pass. The path may not be clear and the steps may seem uncertain, but that is not your concern. Your role is not to map out the journey, but to trust in the destination. Trust that the infinite intelligence of the universe knows the way, and it will guide you step by step. Trust that your words, spoken with belief, are activating forces far beyond what you can comprehend. These forces are already working on your behalf, orchestrating events, aligning circumstances, and opening doors you cannot yet see. Persist in your affirmation, even when the world seems to contradict you. Persist even when doubts arise and the impossible feels insurmountable. These are the moments when your faith is being refined, when your belief is being strengthened. Speak the words louder with greater determination until they drown out every whisper of doubt. Even the impossible will manifest for you. Say it until you believe it, and then say it again until it becomes the only truth you know. There is no need to force or strain. The power of manifestation lies in ease and surrender. Speak these words gently but firmly, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are destined for greatness. Let them flow from you like a river, steady and unstoppable. As you do, you will begin to notice shifts in your energy, in your thoughts, and in your emotions. You will feel a sense of peace, a deep knowing that what you seek is already seeking you. Pay attention to the signs around you. The universe is always communicating, always responding to the energy you emit. As you repeat this affirmation, you will notice subtle shifts of conversation that inspires you, an opportunity that appears unexpectedly, a feeling of clarity that guides your next step. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations that your words are taking root and beginning to bear fruit. Celebrate these signs, no matter how small they seem, for they are evidence that the impossible is becoming possible. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for the manifestation that is on its way. Gratitude is a powerful force that accelerates the process of creation. When you give thanks for what you desire as though it is already yours, you are aligning yourself with the reality you seek. Gratitude is the language of the universe, and it responds to your thankfulness with even greater abundance. So as you repeat these words, let your heart overflow with gratitude for the miracles unfolding in your life. Do not be discouraged by the passage of time. The impossible does not adhere to human schedules or deadlines. It unfolds in its own perfect timing, often when you least expect it. Trust that every moment of waiting is preparing you for the manifestation to come. Trust that the delays are not denials but opportunities for growth and alignment. Keep speaking your truth, keep believing, and know that the fulfillment of your desire is inevitable. You are not alone in this journey. The same creative power that formed the stars, the oceans, and the mountains dwells within you. It is a part of you, inseparable and eternal. When you affirm that even the impossible will manifest for you, you are not asking for something outside yourself to intervene. You are awakening the divine within, the part of you that knows no limits and cannot fail. This power is always with you, ready to bring forth whatever you dare to believe. As you continue to repeat these words, let them transform not only your circumstances but also your identity. You are no longer someone who hopes for change, you are someone who creates it. You are no longer someone who dreams of the impossible, you are someone who lives it. Let this affirmation reshape how you see yourself and the world around you. Let it remind you that you are powerful beyond measure and capable of achieving anything you set your heart and mind to. Speak these words in moments of doubt, in moments of fear, and in moments of joy. Speak them when you rise in the morning and when you lay your head to rest at night. Speak them until they are the first thought in your mind and the last on your lips. Let them become the rhythm of your life, a steady pulse that carries you forward. With every repetition, you are building a reality where the impossible is not only possible but inevitable. Even the impossible will manifest for you. These words are not just an affirmation, they are a command to the universe, a declaration of your power, and a promise of the miracles to come. Speak them, believe them, and live them. As you do, you will discover that there is no limit to what you can create, no dream too big, and no reality too extraordinary. The impossible is yours, and it is waiting for you to claim it. Even the impossible will manifest for you. These words are a sacred thread, connecting you to the limitless possibilities of creation. They are not just sounds or symbols, they are seeds sown into the fertile soil of your mind. With every repetition, you water these seeds, nurture them with the light of your belief, and watch as they grow into the manifestations you once considered beyond your reach. Feel the power of these words resonate within you. They are a call to the divine essence within you, a reminder of your infinite potential. Every time you speak them, you align yourself with the truth that all things are possible to those who believe. Doubt may try to creep in, whispering that your dreams are too big, your circumstances too difficult, or your past too burdensome. But with every affirmation, you silence those whispers and amplify the voice of faith within you. This is not the time to focus on what you lack or what seems to stand in your way. Shift your attention to the abundance that is already yours. Visualize your desires with vivid clarity, as if they are already here. And feel the joy of living in the reality you are creating. Let your imagination take you beyond the limitations of the present moment and into the realm where the impossible is already unfolded. Your imagination is not a fleeting escape, it is the blueprint for your future. There is no need to convince anyone of your vision or seek validation from others. The power to manifest lies within you, not in the opinions of the world around you. Others may not see what you see or believe what you believe, but that is of no consequence. The divine does not require external agreement to bring forth your dreams. It only requires your unwavering faith and your willingness to trust in the process. Keep repeating these words with conviction. Even the impossible will manifest for you. Speak them as a declaration, not a question. Speak them as a truth that is already unfolding in your life. Let them become a mantra that anchors you in moments of doubt and propels you forward in moments of inspiration. These words are your compass, pointing you toward the life you are meant to live. Feel the transformation that begins within as you persist in your affirmation. Your thoughts become aligned with possibility, your emotions become infused with hope, and your actions become guided by faith. This inner shift creates a ripple effect that extends outward, influencing the people you meet, the opportunities that come your way, and the circumstances that shape your path. The world around you begins to reflect the truth you have embraced, that even the impossible is possible for you. Do not let the appearance of obstacles deter you. Obstacles are not signs of failure, they are stepping stones to your success. They are opportunities for growth, resilience, and refinement. Every challenge you face is preparing you for the fulfillment of your desires. Embrace them with gratitude, knowing that they are part of the divine plan for your life. Speak your affirmation even louder in the face of difficulty, and watch as the very things that seem to block your path transform into stepping stones that lead you forward. Time is not your enemy, it is your ally. Trust that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. The seeds you plant today may not bear fruit tomorrow, but they will bear fruit in their season. Be patient and trust the process. The universe operates on a timeline that is beyond human understanding, but it is always working for your highest good. Your role is to remain steadfast in your belief, knowing that your words and your faith are creating a reality that will manifest at exactly the right moment. As you continue to repeat these words, allow yourself to release the need to control every detail. Surrender does not mean giving up, it means trusting that the divine knows the best way to bring your desires to fruition. It means letting go of fear and doubt and stepping into a state of peace and assurance. The more you trust, the more you allow the flow of miracles into your life. The impossible is not a burden to carry, it is a gift to receive. Feel the power of gratitude as you affirm your truth. Gratitude is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. Give thanks for the manifestations that are on their way, even before they arrive. Celebrate the small signs of progress, and let them fuel your belief in the greater miracles to come. Gratitude transforms your energy, aligning you with the abundance that is already yours. Every word you speak, every thought you think, and every emotion you feel is a thread in the tapestry of your reality. By repeating these words, you are weaving a masterpiece that reflects the infinite possibilities within you. You are shaping a life that is not limited by fear or doubt, but is guided by faith and love. You are creating a reality where the impossible is not only possible but inevitable. Even the impossible will manifest for you. Let this truth sink into the deepest parts of your being. Let it become the foundation upon which you build your dreams. With every repetition, you are not just speaking words, you are activating a power that transcends time and space. You are stepping into your role as a co-creator with the divine, a vessel through which miracles flow. This journey is not just about achieving a specific goal or manifesting a particular desire. It is about discovering who you truly are, a limitless being capable of creating a life that reflects the beauty and power of the divine. It is about awakening to the truth that there are no boundaries to what you can achieve, no limits to what you can experience, and no dreams too big for you to realize. Keep speaking these words, not just with your voice, but with your heart, your mind, and your spirit. Let them echo through every fiber of your being until they become your reality. Even the impossible will manifest for you. This is not just a promise, it is a certainty. It is the essence of who you are and the truth of the universe that surrounds you. Trust in it, believe in it, and live in the knowing that the impossible is already yours. Even the impossible will manifest for you. This is a truth that transcends the limitations of the physical world, a divine promise that knows no barriers or boundaries. It does not matter what the current circumstances of your life may look like. It does not matter how improbable, unreachable, or far away your dreams may appear. The essence of creation itself bends to your belief, responding not to the evidence of your senses, but to the persistence of your imagination and faith. Persist in the affirmation with every fiber of your being. Each time you repeat these words, you are not merely stating a hope or wish, you are claiming a reality that already exists in the unseen realm. The impossible is not a distant destination, it is a shift in your awareness, a new state of being that you step into with unwavering conviction. The external world is but a reflection of the internal world. Change within, and the outer reality will follow. Do not wait for evidence to confirm your belief. The unseen always precedes the seen. Your work is not to figure out how your desires will come to fruition. Your work is to stand firm in the knowing that they are already yours. Imagine with vivid detail the life you wish to live, and hold that vision steadfastly in your mind. Let it become more real to you than the circumstances you see with your physical eyes. Feel the joy, the peace, and the fulfillment of having already received what you seek. This is the key to unlocking the impossible. As you repeat the affirmation, you are aligning yourself with the highest vibrations of creation. The words are not empty, they are charged with the energy of possibility. Speak them with conviction, with authority, and with love. Even when doubt creeps in, when the outer world contradicts your inner vision, return to these words. They are your anchor in the storm, your guiding light in the darkness. With every repetition, you strengthen your connection to the divine power that makes all things possible. The journey to manifesting the impossible is not one of force or struggle. It is a journey of trust, surrender, and unwavering belief. You do not need to manipulate circumstances or fight against the flow of life. Instead, you need only to align yourself with the truth of your being. You are not separate from the source of creation, you are an extension of it. What the divine can do, you can do, for the same power resides within you. The impossible becomes possible when you remember this truth and live from it. Feel the shift in your energy as you persist in your affirmation. The words are not merely spoken, they are felt, embodied, and lived. They transform the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you act. You begin to carry yourself with the confidence of someone who knows that all things are working together for their good. You begin to see the world not as a place of limitation, but as a canvas upon which you can paint your dreams. Opportunities appear where there were none before. Solutions arise effortlessly. The impossible begins to take shape in ways you could never have imagined. This is the power of faith in action. Faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the force that calls the unmanifest into being. When you declare that even the impossible will manifest for you, you are activating this force within you. You are stepping into the role of creator, partnering with the divine to bring forth miracles. Do not be discouraged by delays or setbacks. These are not signs of failure, but stepping stones on the path to your dreams. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to deepen your faith, to refine your vision, and to strengthen your resolve. Embrace these moments with gratitude, for they are part of the process. The divine is always working behind the scenes, orchestrating events and aligning circumstances to bring your desires into reality. Trust in the timing, and know that what is meant for you will not pass you by. The power of repetition cannot be underestimated. Every time you affirm the truth, you are reinforcing it in your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not argue or reason, it simply accepts what it is given. Feed it with the words of possibility, and it will work tirelessly to bring them to pass. The more you repeat the affirmation, the more natural it becomes. It moves from being a conscious effort to an automatic truth, a part of who you are. Imagine for a moment the life you would live if you truly believed that even the impossible could manifest for you. How would you think, speak, and act? What risks would you take? What dreams would you pursue? Step into that version of yourself now. Live as if the impossible is already unfolding in your life. This is not pretense, it is preparation. It is aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you wish to create. The universe responds to who you are, not just what you want. Let go of any lingering doubts or fears. They have no power over you unless you give it to them. Fear is a shadow, a distortion of truth, and it cannot stand in the presence of faith. When fear arises, return to your affirmation. Speak the words with even greater conviction, even the impossible will manifest for me. Let the truth of these words wash over you, dissolving every trace of doubt and replacing it with unshakable confidence. Gratitude is a powerful force that accelerates the manifestation process. Give thanks for the fulfillment of your desires, even before they appear in the physical realm. Gratitude is a declaration of trust, a recognition that your dreams are already on their way. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from waiting to receiving. As you affirm the truth, let your heart overflow with gratitude for the miracles unfolding in your life. This attitude of gratitude opens the floodgates of blessings and aligns you with the flow of divine abundance. Your affirmation is more than a statement, it is a command, a declaration, and a prophecy. Speak it boldly, knowing that you are co-creating with the infinite power of the universe. Even the impossible will manifest for you. Let these words become your mantra, your prayer, and your truth. Carry them with you wherever you go, and let them guide you through every moment of doubt, every challenge, and every triumph. Remember that you are not alone on this journey. The divine is with you, supporting you, and guiding you every step of the way. You are part of a greater plan, a divine design that is unfolding perfectly. Trust in this plan and trust in yourself. You have been given the power to create, to manifest, and to live a life that reflects the infinite possibilities of the universe. Step into this power with faith and know that even the impossible is within your reach. Repeat these words until they become the foundation of your being. Even the impossible will manifest for you. The power to manifest even the impossible lies within you, a gift bestowed by the divine essence that flows through your being. As you persist in affirming this truth, you align yourself with the limitless potential of creation. Let your belief be unshakable, your imagination vivid, and your gratitude abundant. Trust that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, working tirelessly to bring your vision to life. Carry these words with you as a beacon of hope and a declaration of faith. Even the impossible will manifest for me. They are not mere affirmations, but a call to step into your divine nature as a creator. With every repetition, you are shaping your reality, inviting miracles, and unlocking doors you once believed were closed. Hold this truth in your heart: the impossible is not a barrier, but an opportunity for faith to reveal its greatest power. Believe, persist, and embrace the journey, for what awaits you is a life beyond your wildest dreams. Even the impossible will manifest for you because you were made to bring the extraordinary into being.